All you gotta do to fast is do the, it's a lot other that go with it up here, but at the end of the day, all you gotta do is it, and just don't let nothing in you.
Canola, soybean, things like that. So the processing.
Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Barbara. This week I am going to take you through fast days and feast days. Fast based on where I'm at in my cycle. So right now I'm in the follicular phase, but I'm in the first week of my menstrual cycle. Day 1 of your menstrual cycle is the first day of your period. So I guess I'm in like day 2 or whatever. Yesterday I worked out in the morning and I ate. I was already, because I didn't fast the day before that, because the week before your period, according to what I'm doing, I wouldn't be fasting at all that week, because my body is trying to build progesterone and it's going through its own things. That's a really important week in your cycle, the week before your period. So I do not fast that week. But now today I'm fasting. Yesterday what I wanted to say about that workout is it was a lot easier than the workout that I'll have to do in the morning, because I was eating the day before. So I work out fasted, but it's different when you have eaten the day before versus when I work out tomorrow morning. I will have not eaten for 36 hours, so give or take maybe 34 35 hours at that point. Right now it is 2 p.m. I did not pick up the camera before now because 1, I was working, and 2, talking about fasting doesn't really make fasting easier for me. So I just have to tell you what I did so far, and hopefully I'm hoping that, okay, this was my first day back fasting, you know, for this cycle. So I just wanted to kind of get through it, but hopefully I'll be able to show you on, today's Tuesday. So on Wednesday, I'll have a feast day, and hopefully I'll be able to show you what I eat on my feast days, and then show you the fast on Thursday. Today, what I've done so far, I've not had enough water. I've only had like about 1.5 cups of water, which when I'm feasting, I like to have water, 8 to 12 cups of water. So I don't want to have a lot of water while I'm fasting, because you're not taking in any sodium and you don't want to throw off your electrolytes by having too much water, but you do want to stay hydrated. So I need to have more water than I've had. I went for 2 walks, but things to kind of think about when you're thinking about fasting. I've had some grumbles. Of course, at the normal time that I eat, I usually eat breakfast around between 7:30 and 8:30. So around that time, my stomach starts to grumble a little bit, but now I know what that means. Like, did you know that your stomach makes noise regardless of if you're hungry or not? Your stomach moves, and when your stomach is empty, you can hear the growl. You can hear the echo of your stomach. So we take it as, oh, I'm starving, which we'll talk about that word starving. We take it as that, but really it's your stomach is empty and you're hearing the echo of your GI system. So now to the word starving. So I say very frequently throughout the day, I'm starving. And I have to remind myself that I am not starving. Suffering or dying from hunger. That is not what I'm doing, but I just be saying, I'm starving. On 600 Pound Life, they say it all the time, I'm starving. Are we really starving? No, you're not starving. I'm not starving. And it is helpful to me to remind myself, no, girl, you're really not starving, because I'll say that. I'm like, you know, I'm starving. It's just a reflex. You know, I'm not starving. I want to eat because I haven't eaten, and I have a reflex of eating, and I feel better with food in my stomach because I'm used to being able to comfort myself in that way by having food in my stomach. That's just really as simple as that. I don't really know how to have days, you know, where food is not involved. It's a part of the fun of the day for me. So that is just my relationship with food, and that's a lot of people's relationship with food, because there's not a lot of people who have really went a day or 2 without eating. Like, people just don't do that. You know, just even doing that it's a strange concept. It's not strange to our bodies because, you know, there was feast and famine before now, so our bodies are fully equipped to go a day or so more many days without eating. So yeah, it's not as big of a deal. When I feel those grumbles, what I have come to learn is that they do go away. Like right now, I was feeling hungry before I sat down, but I'm doing something, so now I don't feel hungry. You know, I'm not thinking about it. If you give it 20 to 30 minutes, that signal will pass, because it's just a signal that your body's giving you to remind you to eat, that you haven't eaten. Like, it's giving you a signal. It's like a baby crying. Like, it just wants to let you know, hey, I haven't eaten, you didn't feed me, right? But if you ignore it, it'll go away, because it wants you to be more, you know, to have the energy, the mental capacity to find food. So it's not going to keep it that you will not be hungry the whole 36 hours. I'm not hungry the whole 36 hours that I'm fasting. I'm not thinking about food constantly. This part is the hardest part, because I'm no longer at work, and it's that part. It's my favorite, you know, food time. It's the one I have less experience with. So I'm not at work, so being busy helps. It's the part I'm least familiar with, as far as I'm used to fasting. I fasted for years, doing 16 to 18-hour fast. So I'm used to skipping breakfast. I'm used to having a later lunch. I'm used to skipping breakfast. It's no problem. Skipping breakfast feels like nothing. And I would suggest, if you want to start fasting, that you start there with skipping breakfast. It's easy. So that doesn't feel like anything, because for the last decade on and off, I've been doing that. So then when we talk about moving lunch back, it hurts a little bit more. It's a little harder on me, because I look forward to lunch. So yes, but moving it back is not like impossible, because I've done that. I've done that to where, okay, I'm not going to eat till 1 or 2. So now when we get to this time of day, when I'm off work, I'm used to kind of having a snack after work. We'll get into dinner time, where, you know, that's usually routinely, unfortunately, my biggest meal of the day. So I'm used to having that meal regardless, because even if I was going 20 hours, that or 24, I really never have. I'm not a 24 person. I do it sometimes, but 20 hours, if I was going 20 hours, I would be eating dinner. So that's the one that I have the least experience with missing, is dinner. There's not really a lot to do, but I do have things scheduled that I'm gonna do. When I'm recording this video, I'm going to do my laundry. I get so much done, things I wouldn't have thought would ever get done when I am fasting. I'm going to take a couple of locks out, and these are, you know, I'm not even saying I'm going to do all this, but these are just options. Some of them going to get done. 1 or 2 of them are going to get done. So I'm going to put in the load right after I turn this camera off. I'm going to continue watching my shows. I'm going to drink some tea, maybe edit some videos. I'm not feeling it right now like I want to do that. And I really also, with me doing things according to my cycle, I also give myself the opportunity to do this work when I am most creative, or when I feel like I want to do it. So right now I felt like sharing this, so I'm here. And when I feel like, because the burst of energy, it happens every month, of there's a burst of when I feel like editing and I feel like doing that, and that's the best time for me to do that. So I will get that done when it comes to me. And if right now it's just about getting caught up on laundry and taking a couple locks down, maybe scheduling some things for Father's Day, then that's what today is. I need to sign my son up for wrestling. I got a lot of stuff I could get done tonight other than eating. I know this may be a strange thing to some people, but you know, humans have fasted for years and years. It's not like really that crazy of a concept. I'm doing 36 hours. People are doing what they want to do for what they feel like is their health. So I'm just doing what I want to do for my health. I'm allowing my body to heal. I'm allowing autophagy to take place. I'm allowing the healing process, the process that's supposed to happen. It's 4:18. I'm waiting on my tea. I have a slight headache, and some people would be like, oh, I gotta eat because I got a headache, and I'm low, my energy's low. I've moved past it, so I already know that, you know, once you do it, once you prove that you can go a day without eating, then you already know. I mean, and I've done as much as 72 hours. So anything under that, I kind of already know I can do it. And I've done the 36 hours one, probably not 10 times, but getting close to 10 times. I already know I can do it. And I've never like given up on it. So I think once you do it once, you know you can do it. If you decide to eat something earlier, break your fast early, at least you know that you can do it. So I think the most important thing is proving to yourself that you can do it. I don't have any like health conditions that I need to be concerned about as far as like blood sugar, stuff like that. It probably would be a good idea for me to get like a glucose monitor so that I do know what my blood sugar is. But I know that this is just a little hissy fit that my body throws before it goes into fat burning. So, you know, it says, they'll say, oh, when you're 16 hours fasted, because let me look and see how many hours I am fasted. 20 hours fasted right now. And yeah, so that's, my body's just throwing a hissy fit before it goes into fat burning mode, or goes into fat burning. So people will say, you know, 16 hours fasted, you're in a fat burning, or 20 hours fasted, or 24. Really, it depends on the person, the amount of glucose you have stored up, like what did you eat yesterday. Because if I was eating low carb yesterday, it would take less time for me to get into ketosis or to get into fat burning today, because my glucose stores would already be low. I ate spaghetti, I had Chick-fil-A for breakfast, I had a salad, it was good too. I had, you know, a good breakfast, things like that. But well, yeah, because I had my breakfast before my husband decided to go to Chick-fil-A, and I had that breakfast too. Neither here nor there. So I had an array of food on the spectrum, you know. And with that being said, this is when I can feel in my body that I'm switching over, that my body is throwing its last little fit, my energy is low. And when I wake up in the morning, I won't even be hungry. That's what's crazy, because you go through this part, but eventually you won't even be hungry. Like right now, I'm about to have some tea. I did not drink enough water today. I've only had 2 cups of water, but right now I want something warm. I'm having just raspberry tea, and I think I showed you this raspberry leaf tea. Sometimes I will, hold on one second, I'll go get it for you because I need to get my tea anyway. Sometimes I put this green tea, and I have rose petal tea. So sometimes I'll mix all 3 together, but right now I just stuck with the raspberry tea because these right here are really bitter, and I'm not putting any kind of Splenda or anything in it. I just drink it like it is. And this is not, it doesn't taste sweet at all, but it is not as strong as these other, like as bitter as the others, so it's easier to drink. Yeah, when I'm fasting, I do what's called a clean fast. So I just do tea and water. I don't do Splenda or diet drinks or any of that 0 calorie things. Most people, from the books I've read and from what I've experienced, it really is easier to fast in some aspects this way, because you're not getting those, because when you have Splenda and stuff like that, it can still cause insulin spikes in some people, because it sends a signal that you're going to eat something. It's a sweet flavor that makes your body think you're about to eat something, and so it creates a hunger signal too. So it's easier, you know, just to keep it, we're not eating and leave everything like that. There is also benefits to doing it the clean way. If your goal is only to reduce your calorie intake by, you know, if your goal is to just reduce your calorie intake, then I guess it really doesn't matter whether if you have 0 calorie foods, you know, if you have Splenda and Diet Coke and stuff like that, it really doesn't matter. But for the other benefits, as far as reducing insulin spike, getting your insulin as low as possible, the autophagy and things like that, just for the other benefits that fasting has, it's better to just do it clean, you know, and try it clean. That's another thing the books talk about. Anything warm is just kind of is also helpful in this situation. I think I'm at a point in my day right now, and every day is different. Like some days I have a lot of energy and I can get things done. I'm not feeling it right now. I've done 2 loads of clothes, but I didn't do any of the other things that I said that I was going to do. Next time, so after I'm back in the swing of things, I might have more energy next fast to do those things. Maybe even just tomorrow. But right now I don't have it. And so just gonna respect that and start winding it down. Yeah, I'm 20 hours in. It's not like I'm gonna have a headache for the next 16 hours. And if you really think about it, I really only have, it's 4:27 right now. If I go to bed early, if I go to bed at like 9 or 9:30, you know, I only have like 5 hours left. Only. That sounds like a long time. I'm gonna have to find something to do. For the majority of the times, I don't know if I've ever made dinner while I'm fasted. I don't want to. I don't like to do that. This is a couple ways it's gone. So I'll just ask him to make something, or I'll make 2 meals on, you know, like the day before. I'll make 2 dinners, and then he can make that dinner, or they can warm up that dinner that day. When we were in the store, sometimes he'll say, are you fasting this week? Because I'll pick up, you know, some frozen pizzas or something like that for them to have, because he knows I'm not going to be eating. He has started fasting too. Yeah, it's not good. It doesn't taste like anything, but you get used to it. You get used to it, because I tried to go back to Splenda, like, because last week I didn't fast at all because of where I was in my cycle. And I tried to go back to using Splenda, and I craved a bitter tea. Like, I wanted to have a bitter tea. I never thought that would be the case, because I never really thought I would be able to enjoy tea without. My train of thought is leaving me. Time where it's time for me to sit down, lay down, get some motivation by watching YouTubes about fasting, or there's a new podcast that I'm gonna check out. She wrote Fast, Feast, Repeat. I'm gonna listen to her podcast, but I think I really want something visual, so I might just be watching my Netflix show that I'm in right now, which is All American. But I got off of All American because it's getting very heavy. I'm in the 5th season, right in the middle, so if you know what happened there, it got a little heavy on me. So I think I'm gonna go back to Homecoming, which is a spinoff of that show. So I'm gonna go back to Homecoming and get caught up, so to give myself a little break from, you know, all that's going on right now. And so I'll be back. Hi, so I was like, I want to get back on here. It's like 5:30. I just had a call with a friend. She was calling me about, so we both teach CPR classes. She's calling me about something with the CPR stuff. Somehow we got on talking about right in the lane of it was a reminder of that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, because it was like she was talking about hormones and about menopause and perimenopause and cycles and natural healing and all these kinds of things. We got on Queen Afua. She was telling me, I was telling her about how these books that I'm reading now, they kind of, Afua says the same thing in her book. If you don't know who Queen Afua is, you should look her up. She talks about these same things that these doctors, you know, are saying in their book, but she was saying it a long time ago. Telling me her story about how she learned about Queen Afua. Said something that resonated with me about when you're not around like-minded people, you forget. Like, you'll start to think like that you are the weird one, which is you. I may be the weird one, but the thing is, just because something is more prevalent, just because, yeah, we supposed to have, you know, if you don't have your coffee drink or whatever, you know, like, these are more prevalent, that doesn't mean that it's the right thing, you know. That's just what majority of people do. So that was a good conversation, and it was like a reminder. So it makes me feel like, okay, I'm about to go back and read that Queen Afua book again. We talked about raspberry tea, which I just showed y'all my raspberry tea, but I was just telling her, talking about how doctors, you know, they say what they say, but it's like, you can't tell me that the raspberry tea don't work, because when I started taking raspberry tea, I stopped having painful cramps. And she was like, yes, I started that in the 90s. Okay. And I was a child in the 90s. So I just started this like this year. And she's like, yeah, I started taking raspberry tea in the 90s, and I used to take pain medicine for my cramps, and I had terrible cramps. So this is, it's just confirmation, like, these things are not weird. These things are not weird. They're normal. And they don't even gotta be normal. They're not weird. It's vibrationally a match for me to not need pain medicine and to just go ahead and drink my raspberry tea because it works. And that's another person saying it works, and she's been taking it for decades. So it was so many like similarities of things that she was just like echoing, and it wasn't like I told her that I was doing, you know, this, that, and the third. She just was saying, you know, like talking about different things that people who try to live more natural life talk about. But when you're not around those kinds of people, it makes you feel like you're strange. So that was good. And I didn't expect that was the conversation that we were going to have, right? Because that's not even what she called about. I be having such good conversations with people that I didn't even know what they was calling about. Or after I answer their question, I have a good conversation about whatever it is that comes up. Yeah, that, because it was also because I was telling her about how I'm having this situation where I feel like with friendships, not friendships, let's not say friendships, but with people, just with people. So there's nobody that's exactly like me, right? Nobody's exactly like me. People are either going to be in any given topic, they're either going to be as committed or going to be less committed than me or more committed than me. They may be a tiny bit less committed or a tiny bit more committed, but there's not going to be somebody who's like exactly the same commitment level as me. So because we're all different. So my choices are either I'm going to have to continue to try to pull people up, or I'm going to have to reach up. Okay? Point in case. I've been trying to get people to go walking with me or hiking with me, and I'm having to like, you know, nobody wants to wake up early. So I'm like, okay, well, what about 10 or 9:30? You know, when I really want to be there by 9 or 8 or something like that. And then they don't even show up. So, you know, but then there's other people. There's these groups that they meet at 7 a.m. or they meet at 7 a.m. for yoga, and then they go on a hike. And it's like, oh, that's a push for me. 1, I don't like yoga. 2, I don't want to have to be somewhere at 7 on Sunday morning. But those are the options. One option is to continue to just do it yourself. But if you would like to do it with others, the options are you either continue to try to drag people along that are not they don't care about it, whether we're talking about hiking, we talking about lifting, we talking about dancing, whatever activity we're talking about, I'm gonna have to drag people along, or I'm gonna have to rise up to the occasion, a different level. Because that comes from with dancing. There's dance classes that I don't like the time, or I don't, or they're hard for me and I don't want to do it, or with every single thing, there are people that are not as committed or more committed, and I'm having to choose if I want to interact with other humans, because I do them all by myself. But if I would like to choose to do them with other people, I'm going to have to make a decision. Are you going to continue to try to pull people? Or are you going to go up and be the pulled? No. And I don't want nobody to have to pull me. But it's like, because there's like a running group here. It was a lady on there, and she was running a race, and it was a 10K, which is about 6 miles. And she was like, but I got to run 12 miles for the day. So if anybody wants to meet me at such and such park, which is close to me, to get the first 6 miles in, let me know. And I'm like, I don't want to do no 6 miles, If I'm the best in the room, I'm never going to grow. That's just how it go. So I need to start hanging with these folks that are going to push me. And it doesn't mean like that I'm better in general than these people. It's just in that particular thing, hiking, running, I'm better than the people that I'm hanging around. And so I need to, if I don't want to just continue to be doing it by myself, I'm going to have to fool with people who are better than me, or continue to drag people, which is not fun. Now I'm going to just ascend right on upstairs, get in the shower, and just lay down. All you got to do to fast is do this. And it's really that easy. So It's a lot other that go with it up here. But at the end of the day, all you gotta do is it. And just don't let nothing in there. Simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy. And this is gonna be the hardest part. Cause I cooked that stuff, but I was talking to her on the phone, so it wasn't hard. But what's gonna be the hardest part is for me to go in here and just put this stuff on plates, because I'm gonna go ahead and put it on a plate for him, and just walk upstairs. That's all I gotta do. And really, once I'm upstairs, it's over. Like, I'm not coming back down. Too lazy for that. So once I'm upstairs, it's over. I made it. And all I gotta do then is just close my eyes, and when I go to sleep, just wake up the next day.
Therapy. Are you? I need to get back on my course.
This is what's on the menu for today. That's what I did on Monday. And that's what I'll do on Friday. My plan for the next 3 weeks. Let's do it.
Dairy and soy free, and we went to Cracker Barrel, and there wasn't a single thing on the menu.
And that's what I do. I'm a teacher in a sit-fast diet, and he says in there multiple times. I think you got it. Yeah, that's right.
It's so simple and so silly.
So I'm gonna just do these. I'm running out of time. It's 7:30, and that's really when I need to be hopping in the shower. I haven't eaten yet, and I am 35 going on. It's about to be 36. I don't do it to where I have to be right at 36 hours, but that's just probably how it's gonna shake out today, because I'm gonna finish these sets, which probably take me just like 10 minutes or so. But then I have to get in the shower. I'm gonna have to put some tilapia in the air fryer before I get in the shower, and then I'm gonna have tilapia in a salad to break my fast. If you are new to fasting and you are just starting with like 36-hour fast, like a longer fast, I wouldn't probably break it with something like vegetables like that your body has to break down. I would start with like broth or avocado, eggs, things that are like more easily digestible. But that's what I got. That's what I'm working with today. So that's what I'm gonna do. I feel good. I'm not getting those hunger signals anymore. When I woke up, I forgot that I was fasted. Like, you don't think about it when you wake up after you've done it a couple of times. Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
Started working at a hospital. I didn't really. How do I tell her about intermittent fasting?
I know what you mean.
What?
Yeah, I guess I am kind of feeling the pressure.
You gotta take your foot off the gas. Give your body
Who's
some
going
time.
with you?
Now, the whole
Lightning
season,
shirt.
Coach, no way.
I know.
Got my oatmeal and protein shake, and I added a little collagen protein in here to make it. I try to get 30 grams per meal. And yes, this is breakfast food, and earlier I had a salad for breakfast. But you know, our bodies don't care about these made up breakfast food or whatever. This is what I want to eat now, and that was what I wanted to eat then.
Cool it out with all this dramatic sore loser stuff. It's not gonna fly here, bro.
They were? You said they are impressed? He's like, what, eat our dinner?
Don't have that same stiffness in them anymore. But if you...
So, I'm fasting. I'm drinking water. You know, there's really nothing else to say about that. It's a pretty simple process because it's 8:12 in the morning, so it's easy. So this is, I fasted on Tuesday. Then you saw I feasted yesterday. And then today, I'm repeating it. I'm back fasted. I don't fast for the whole day on the weekends. So even though where I'm at in my cycle, I could keep going with the 36-hour fast, it's good to switch up your fast. But so my husband is lifting the barbell. This time I'll probably come back starving, but right now feel fine. 22 hours fasted. It's 4 6:44 p.m. and I couldn't think of a thing to talk about because this is that time of day. I'm telling you, this time of day is the hardest time of day for me with fasting, and I just couldn't think of a thing that I would want to talk about for real. This day really is a little bit easier than the first day when I was switching over to the 36 hours because I just did a 36-hour fast. So at this point it's just like, okay, you know, you just did it. It's fine, but it's still, could I eat? Yes. I'm just gonna go with the commitment that I made to not. And it's really just as simple as that. Like, you'll feel like you'll get a thought like, should I go ahead and break it at 24 or should I go ahead and break it at 20? And then you just find something else, or I just find something else to do and move past it. And then that's another hour closer to going to bed. Really, it's time for me to make my tea. I don't know what time I made it last time, but I could feel, okay, this is the time where I need that little extra something, and that's the tea I'm gonna make. I'm actually gonna do dandelion root tea this time. I was doing the raspberry tea, which is good. I might mix them, but dandelion root tea is good for your digestion, good for your liver. So I want to do that. I don't really have, I have teas that I have and that I take, but I don't like, other than the raspberry tea leaves, I do drink them usually before I'm gonna have my period, and then during, just to strengthen my uterus and to help with any kind of cramps. I didn't have any cramps, so this also makes this day easier because I know tomorrow I'll fast again. But unlike the first day where it's like, tomorrow I'll fast, but then the next day I go into a fast. Tomorrow I'll fast, and tomorrow's Friday. I do not do 36-hour fast on the weekend, so I will be eating whenever I feel like it. Saturday, like, I'll fast, but it'll be like a 14 to 20 or 24-hour fast. Probably it'll be about 14 to 16-hour fast, and then I just have to make another decision, like, because I leave it up to, I've done it, but I have to make I've done it, but what I'm trying to say is I'll wait to make the decision of what I'm gonna do for next week when next week comes. When I've had the opportunity to fast, as far as my cycle, and next week will be still in a advantageous time to fast before I go into ovulation, and so I will probably choose to do a 36-hour fast, but I will leave that up to, the me that after the weekend and how I feel, if I want to do it or not. If I don't, then I'll do something else, like maybe a 16 or 20-hour or whatever. It'll be whatever I decide, because I'll probably only get like one more day of fasting in next week before I go into ovulation, because I want to be able to work out, and on the days that I work out, I want to be able to eat, and I'm kind of prioritizing keeping my workout days Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so, that's just how it's working. Right now, nobody's home, so it's a little easier. When they get home and start talking about what are they going to eat, blah, 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 that's going to be a hard time, but I'm going to get through it because I have a commitment to myself, and I haven't faltered on that yet. So that's why it's really important to make those commitments that you can keep, like in the beginning. Like I would say, you starting with the 14-hour, if a 14-hour fast is hard for you, and then moving to a 16, moving to an 18, moving to a 20, and maybe it's moving to a 16, moving to a 17, moving to an 18. Like, maybe you're moving hour by hour, maybe you're moving in 30-minute increments, so that you can make attainable goals and goals that you can reach. For me, there really is no once you hit 24 hours, you might as well go ahead and do the 36, because all you gotta do is go to sleep. At that point, no reason to do it any other way, but just go ahead and jump. You can do, after you do 24, just go to 36. Just go to sleep. I'm about to call my niece over the internet. We do stretches together because she lives in Kansas City and I don't. She's 6, so yeah. I didn't make my tea yet. I was supposed to. Hey, girl.
Hi.
What you up to?
I have a reading class.
Oh.
I body, and you already know that, and
You ready to get started? You laying down. You're not ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, well then let's do this. You go first. Huh? Me first? Okay. Let's start it out real simple.
Oh, we're sitting down?
Yeah, we can stand up for yours.
I haven't stretched in a while.
That's okay.
We're gonna put one hand
Uh-huh.
on your foot, and then the other hand touch.
Here?
Yeah, try to touch your toes.
Okay.
Try.
Honey, I can touch my toes. I don't know who you've been working out with. So, we're gonna cross one leg in front of the other and come down. You got it. Good job.
My legs.
Huh?
Except my legs. What? Talk about something else first. Wait, can we do one quick would you rather?
Yeah, come on. What's up?
One. Alright, you go first.
Oh. Would you rather be an astronaut or a ballerina?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I've always said when I grow up, I want to be. Can you give me a pinky promise that you won't tell them?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
This is straight up about that eye. Let me see if I can get to show y'all. Okay, so I'm 36 hours fasting. I'm about to work out. I'm wearing my pajamas. Yeah, it was a good one. I mean, you know, I didn't even drink the tea yesterday because I just worked it out, you know. Everybody else had McDonald's, but I didn't even want McDonald's because when you fast, you kind of get a little bougie with it because I'm like, I'm not about to, my body is empty and I'm not about to fill it with that. So that's not appealing to me when I'm fasting. But yeah, I'm gonna break my fast with pretty much the same thing I broke it with last time. Yeah, I'm just gonna do my third full body workout. And that's it. Thank you, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.